You really like watching interesting budget gaming Hall effect keyboards? So today comes another one, the Aula Hero 68HE, so let's check it out. This very cool looking keyboard costs only around 50 euros, which I think is basically free when I show you what it offers. I'll get back to this showstopper later. First, let's check out the build, which in this case is plastic, but the whole keyboard feels sturdy enough and also packs some weight, so I wouldn't worry about it. Design-wise, we're talking about somewhat interesting frame because it's not only this white plastic, but it also has some metal side pieces, which make it look a bit more interesting and premium. You can also attach the included strap on the side, but to me it only makes the keyboard look uglier because aside from performance, the real showstopper is this big and cool looking RGB light bar. For RGB lovers like me, this looks sick. I'll get back to it in the software section. Now let's focus on the rest of the body, like these rubber feet on the bottom, which help it with stability on the desk. Unfortunately, the angle of the keyboard isn't adjustable, so you'll have to use the only angle it offers. There's one thing that really bugged me during use, and that's this USB-C port, which is on the side. With the regular USB-C cable, it's basically unusable because it's gonna stick far out to the side, and yes, there's this gray rubber cable in the box, which makes it stick out less, but it's still gray rubber and very ugly. Unfortunately, both you and I will have to live with that. Anyway, let's continue to the better stuff. Keycaps, considering the price, are pretty usable. They're somewhat thick, but very smooth to the touch, and the legends are shine-through side printed, so you'll see the RGB through them. I'm not a big fan of this ultra gaming font, but that's personal preference. Switches in mine are these Meteor magnetic, which to be honest surprised me quite a bit because they're very smooth, light, and thanks to the box stem with these little rails, they are very stable. The same great things could be said about these stabilizers, which are also very smooth and well lubed, so they don't make any weird noises. This keyboard is also hot swappable, so anytime you can switch out the switches for others. Sound-wise, the tray mount and this metal plate are gonna play a role, but it's got a lot of layers inside to make it sound better, so let's hear it for ourselves. As you could have heard, for a budget Hall effect gaming keyboard, it doesn't sound half bad. Actually, I'd say that sound-wise, it's one of the better sounding ones at this price point. But let's not get ahead of ourselves and let's jump right into the most interesting parts of the keyboard, the performance and the mentioned light bar. Both of them are heavily affected by the software, so let's start with that. Thank God it uses my favorite form of customization, web-based software where you can set up everything starting with key remapping, including layers, actuation point settings for all the keys and also the ones you select separately, rapid trigger settings, socd, some other settings, including polling rate, and of course, the most important thing, the RGB. You can pick from a bunch of effects and individual colors specifically for the keys, and also a bunch of other effects and colors individually for the light bar. Software did not disappoint me a single bit, and after setting it up, I jumped straight into gaming, and the results were very positive. My rapid trigger and also socd settings worked flawlessly. The switches were very light and stable, so I didn't feel any discomfort. I didn't notice any misinputs during gaming or any other weird issues that could have hindered my experience. Performance, after all, was not only acceptable, but thanks to how well it all worked and also how decent it sounded, even though it's a very budget board, I was more than satisfied. For the amount of money you're gonna be paying for it on AliExpress, this is one well-working, good-looking, and also pretty good sounding halleffect keyboard. So, if you're specifically looking for good performance out of a nice looking budget gaming keyboard, this could be it. And if you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Here, check out another one, and I'll see you again next Friday. Bye!